everyone. In today's video we will be covering the awkward shapes from the speed solving wiki, and these are the ones where you have a lightning bolt shape, the big lightning bolt, and you have one additional corner oriented. So I will not be calling them the awkward shapes because I think that's kind of dumb. We're going to call those the super lightning bolt cases because they're a lightning bolt with an extra little arc off the side. And there's only two of these, but there are left and right hand versions of each of these, so you will have to learn both sides. And how you recognize them, there's two cases. So how you recognize them is if you place your lightning bolt in the back and your oriented corner in the front, then you're basically going to have two cases. You're going to have a case where either you have headlights or you have a bar. So I never really look at the headlights case. I always looked at, so if you look at your lightning bolt and then you look at the opposing two pieces across from your lightning bolt on your corner piece, if you see a bar, it's one case. If you don't see a bar, it's the other case. So you only see a dot. So again, you'll have your big lightning bolt cases, and you'll either have two headlights or you'll have a bar here. So these are the only two cases where you have the headlights and a dot or a bar, and we'll go over each one of these. Let's get started. The first case we're going to cover is case number 41 and 42 from the speed solving wiki, and that's where you have your super lightning bolt and you have your headlight case. So both of these have headlight cases, and there's a left hand and right hand version of it. There's two ways to solve this case, and they're both relatively easy to learn and execute. The first way we're going to learn how to solve this is if you orient your case where you place your lightning bolt on the back and then your oriented corner on the front. So here's the left and the right hand version of them. So we're placing our lightning bolt on the back, and then our oriented corner is going to be on our front. Then we're going to look to see where our headlights are. So your headlights are either be on the right hand side or on the left hand side. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with this kind of island corner piece, our super part of our lightning bolt, and we're going to perform two sledgehammers here, and then we're going to perform two sexy moves. So we'll do a sledgehammer, and then a sexy move, and a sexy move. And that will solve your case. And if you notice there, you don't need that last U move, or U prime move, rather. So for the left-hand version of this, we have our lightning bolt on the back. Here's our oriented corner piece in the front. Our headlights are here, so we're going to start with this case. So this is not correct because our headlights are still on the left or right, but this is in the front. And this needs to be in the back. So we'll place this in the back. Here's our oriented corner piece. We're going to perform two sledgehammers. 1, 2, and then two sexy moves. Solves that case. And then this is the last part of the sexy move, but you don't need that last one. So again, just to show you on the test cube, we'll orient it, we'll perform two sexy moves, and then you'll notice that this is a double sexy to solve this case. So then you just double sexy and it solves. And how you do the finger movements for this is since you're doing two sledgehammers, you can regrip like this and do your sledgehammer, so you can do two like that and then regrip again to do. And I never really use this one, but this is by far the easier one to learn because it's just double sexy, or double sledge, and then two sexy moves. So again, double sledge, two sexy, double sledge, two sexy. So that's the easy way to remember how to solve this case, which is the lightning bolt with your headlights, and you just take your oriented corner piece, and you double sledge it, and then you double sexy it. So sledge, sledge, sexy, sexy. Solves that case. And at speed. The second way to solve this case, 41 and 42, is if you point your headlights away from you, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do a Sune, and then we're going to do a T1 case. So your T1 case is where you perform an F move, you perform a sexy move on this pair, and then you undo your F move. That's the T1 case. And a Sune is where you take the pair out, move it to the back, and then insert it with the U2. So we're just going to combine those two, and that will solve this case. And I think this is the better way to do it. I can't recognize the skip case very well on this one, so we won't go over that. But basically, you have your headlights. We're going to face our headlights away from us, and we're going to perform a Sune on the corner piece. So we're going to start with this corner piece. We'll do a Sune here. And then you'll notice that gives you the T1 case, and then you'll just do that T1 case. So again, for the right-hand version, here's our super lightning bolt with our headlights. Place our headlights away from us. We're going to Sune on this corner, and then you can tell that gave us a T1 case, so we'll just do the T1 case, and that solves that case, and I think that's the better way to solve this case. And we're doing execution for this one. When we do our Sune, we're just going to regrip and then do our Sune. So we'll pull this one out and either push it over here or push it over here, whatever your preference is. Perform your Sune, and then you're right here. So that's why we did that initial regrip, so we're right here to do our T1 case to solve. So that's how you would execute this. Again, you would regrip, Sune, and then you're right here to do your T1 case. One more time, we'll Sune right into our T1 case, and that will solve the case. And add speed, move headlights away from you. The next case we're going to cover is case number 29 and 30 from the Speed Solving Wiki, and that's where you have your lightning bolt and your extra, so your super lightning bolt, and you have a bar on the side. And there's 3 ways to do this. I'm actually going to show you the first one. I don't really use, but I think it's kind of a neat way to solve it. And what that is we're going to place our lightning bolt on the left or the right, and we're going to place our oriented edge in the back. And we're basically going to take this row up and over, so we're going to perform an M move by pushing here to pull that corner out, and then we're going to move it over to the side, and we're going to do a sexy move here, and then we're going to sledgehammer this piece back into place, and then you'll notice that all we have to do to fix our cross is just to do one M slice again, so M slice it back. So again, what we're doing is we're pushing that up, moving it out of the way, perform a sexy move, sledgehammer, and then redo your M, and that solves that case. And it is a pretty decent way to solve this case. And the way that we're going to move our piece over is dependent upon where your corner piece is. So if the corner piece is on the right, we're going to move our piece to the right. If it's on the left, then we'll move it to the left. So in this scenario, we will pull it up and move it to the right, and then perform the sexy move sledgehammer on this side. If it's on the left, or it's on the left-hand side here, then we'll move it up and pull it over, and then perform our sexy move, sledgehammer, and then middle slice. So that's how you would orient the various ones. So for the right or left-hand version. So in this case, we'll place in the back, we'll do an M move, move it over, sexy move, sledgehammer, and then one M move solves it. On this one, we'll place in the back, so we'll lift that up, move it over towards that corner, and then we're over here now, so sexy move, sledgehammer, and then one M move solves that as well. So that's kind of the more novel way to solve that case. So the next way we're going to learn how to solve this case is one of my favorite solutions to any case, and it uses an insert that we didn't actually go over in the Advanced F2L series, but basically what you're doing is we're going to kick this pair out by pushing it up. So we're going to move some stuff from the top into the back layer, then we're going to kick this up, kick it out of the way, and then replace it. So basically what we're doing is the reverse of this insert, where you kick it up, pull it in, and then, so I'm just using my ring finger to move back and forth. So we're taking this row and putting it in the back, pushing this pair up out of the way, moving it out of the face, and then replacing. So we'll move this in the back again, and then we'll fix this, and then solve. So basically what we're doing is we're kicking that pair out, and then we're going to insert it like that. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to kick this pair out by using a push move with our pinky. So we move this layer up, we pinky it out, lower this layer, and move it out of the way, and then undo what you just did, and that removes the pair. So that's the way we're extracting the pair. And then how we're going to insert it is we're just going to insert it by moving this layer into the front face, kicking that empty slot up, fixing, putting this back, fixing our square, and then moving this back in so we can insert it. So it's a completely regripless alg if you do it correctly. So we're kicking this out, so we're going to be pushing right here with our finger. So we'll kick out, pull over, and then right here again to fix, and then we're just going to go straight into that insertion. So it's really the only kind of tricky part about this, and I'll put the alg in the screen here, but the tricky part about this is just the extraction, because normally this isn't an extraction that we've done very much, and I use a lot of my J-perms with this extraction, so I'm decent at it. But you just kick it out like that, pull it over, and then fix your cross, and then we're just going to go right into that insertion. And what that's going to do is that's going to solve this case. And how you orient this case is we're going to take our lightning bolt and put it in the back, and then we're going to put our oriented corner on the front. And we're going to kick out the pair here that's on the other side of our front face. So here's our lightning bolt, here's our oriented corner, here's the corner that we're going to kick out. So we're going to want to kick out this one, so we're going to start moving this layer. So again, my pinky's going to push here to kick this out, or my ring finger rather. Pull it out of the way, fix your cross, and then now we just have this insertion, and we're just going to insert it like that. And that will solve that case. So again, we kick it out, pull it out of the way, solve, and then we can U2, or R2 rather, because we can go all the way over, and then lift this empty slot up, back our pair in, and then solve. So we'll kick it out, and then insert. Kick it out, insert. So, and how you execute that is just like I'm doing. There's this completely regripless. You just lift up, you pull your ring, you push your ring finger, pull out, and then pull your ring finger. And then instead of doing a single move, we're just going to go R2, front, and we're here, and then we're going to push here with our finger. So, one more time. And that's normally the way that I solve this case, but I have found a way that's one regrip and possibly a little bit faster, so I've been practicing with that, but this is my main way to solve this case. So I orient it like this, I put my corner piece in the front, and here's your bar, so we're going to start with the piece underneath your bar. So we'll kick that out, and we'll right into a insert, and that solves that case. So the left-hand version of this, and it's important to get used to the pushes and pulls with your ring finger back here if you're going to get fast at this method. So here's our lightning bolt, here's our oriented corner piece, here's our bar, so we're going to kick this one out. So we're going to be pushing with this finger, so push, kick it out, pull it in, L2, solves that case. And then the execution is the same, so you kick it out, and then you, and that last push over, that way you don't have to do one of these, but you can if you want, it doesn't matter. So one more time, kick it out, pull it over, fix your cross, insert it like that, and that will solve your super awkward lightning bolt case. And at speed, your lightning bolt, and your bar. And the third way we're going to solve this case, and I actually think this is a little better way than the last one, but they're both pretty quick if you get them down, is we're going to, and I'm going to put the alg here because it's pretty difficult to explain, but we're going to do a lot of fat R moves, and we're going to orient the case like this, where you have your lightning bolt and your oriented corner in the back, and your lightning bolt's going to be either on the left hand side or the right hand side, but your oriented lightning bolt will be on the back. And we're going to start moving this whole R face that includes the bar. So when you're starting to perform this case, you can think of it as we're going to leave this little island piece over here alone, and we'll use this whole bar here. And what we're going to do is on this one we're going to regrip, and we're going to regrip to put our thumb on the top. And instead of regripping like this, because the first move is going to be an R2 move, we have to put our thumb on the top to make this flow a little better. So we're going to place our thumb on the top, we're going to do an R2, then we're going to do a D, so we're going to push right here with our D, and then we're going to do, basically we're going to take this pair out by pulling it. So we're going to do one of those. We're going to do an R move, a U prime move, and then a R move. So it's a very, it's just, it's like you're taking a pair out. So it's like you're doing that, but you're doing that. So we'll do one of those, and then we'll undo our D, and then we'll do another R2, and then you can see we have this pair, and here's the corner piece, so we're going to place that in, and then we're kind of upside down, so we just need to do a reverse sledgehammer, because if you look underneath the cube, this is oriented correctly, and all we have to do is take this block and place it here. So in order to do that, we move this out of the way, place it into position, and then solve. So again, I know this is confusing, but this is one of the best ways to solve this case, so it's important to learn, I think. So we're going to regrip, put our thumb on the top, we're going to R2, and then we're going to push with our finger. Then we're going to take this block, and so we're going to do one of these, but we're going to do it with the fat version. So we're just going to, and then undo our D. And then now, so that's the first kind of half of the alg. Now we're going to R2, and then you can see that here's our edge piece, or here's our corner piece, and here's our cross piece. So we're going to insert, and then solve for the sledgehammer piece of it. So again, and like I said, I'll put the alg down here. It took me a while to kind of understand how this works and get the finger movements right, but once you get it, it's really, really fast. So you regrip, R2, D, and then we'll pull this in, undo your D, and then R2, place this pair into the slot, and then we'll move this whole block, we'll move that back to the top face so we can move it in line, and then we'll undo. So again, R2, D, pull this square into the, so we're taking this and placing it here, and then undo your D, and then now we have to R2, reinsert this, and then reinsert this square by one of those. So R2, D, pull that out, undo your D, so one more time, we'll regrip, R2, D, pull that square down, undo your D, and then we just push this out of the way, so we have to reinsert it. So we'll R2, reinsert, and then pull. So once you do that initial regrip, and you can't do it like this, it's not regripless. If you grab like this for your first R2, you have to put your thumb on top, but you would put your thumb on top, R2, push with your ring finger, pull that in, pull with your ring finger, R2, and we're pulling here to insert that pair. We're just going to lift the whole right face up, pull that square into place, and then lower that right face. So once you get it, it's a fast alg, and it's a single regrip, but it flows really, really nicely. And that solves this case where you have your lightning bolt and your oriented corner. So you'll take your corner and you put it in the back, and then we're just going to start moving both of these, this face with the bar on it. So we'll put our thumb on top, R2D, undo your D, and R2, and insert that, and then sledgehammer back in. So it's a little more difficult to remember than the other ones, but I think it's one of the better ones to learn. And I think I will make that my main alg that I solve for this one. I didn't notice any decent skip cases on this one. There are, but I think you got to overthink them, and I don't think it adds a lot of value. They're not easy skip cases to learn, so we won't be going over those. And that's speed, lightning bolt, and here's our bar. So we're going to start with this side. That's it for the awkward shapes, or the super lightning bolt. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the description below. The next set of videos we're going to cover are your dot cases, and there's actually 5 of these cases, and I'm going to break them into 2 videos. There's your straight dot cases where you only have your dot, and there's also I'm going to call them dot plus cases, where you have your dot and then you have a couple of your corners oriented, and there's 3 of these. So I want to, since there's 5 of them, I don't want a half-an-hour video. I would like to keep them a little shorter. So we're going to break these 3 into, there's another one. We're going to break those into one video, and we're going to just do the straight dot cases in the next video. Until then, happy cubing.